2 is for both CTs and Ts a long flash.
Yeah,
You just flash
100%.
over the door in the open. Same goes for CTs. You flash in front of the entrance of the door, and you just look who has the better timing, pushing through with the flashes and getting the entries on A long.
Yeah, definitely. That's one of the most crucial parts of all of it. Euronic still trying to really get that one down. I mean, we only have 8 slots for the online playoffs, 4 for the offline playoffs, and this is where I say it's getting really. It looks very sinister for those teams. For every single team except Sprout. Oh, dark times lying ahead.
Yeah, and even I think Valiant is one of those teams we both saw at the top 4 in the beginning, and now I still see them making it to the offline playoffs, but they need to keep developing because I think if they just play the way they play right now, it's gonna be very hard for them in the end.
And that's the thing I really love about all of this is I still give Valiant a crucial, you know the get out of jail card in Monopoly.
Yeah,
that's basically the card that right now Valiant has when you still have a good bunch of excuses coming into the play and not performing properly.
Yeah.
I still give him that for like, let's say 2 to 3 months, where I say Valiant's young team formed, language switch on the IGL, 2 of the 5 players never played into the national team. Actually, it's free to be very correct. So I'll really say that is acceptable. They still do micro and macro management mistakes in total from the leading side. But at the end of the day, we're going to figure out how Dust 2 will go. Let's take a look if Valiant can close this out 2-0. Or if we're rather having a mistake happening from the mostly Serbian team.
we saw Ironic, so I remember one game where in the first, I think even 10 rounds, they went for a B rush in at least 6 of those rounds. But in the next match, they barely went to the B side, so it will be interesting to see if they switch it up again, or if they are going to end up on the B side very often.
And as you see, that's going their way for the moment. And when we talk about Valiant's caller finally stepping in, and he somehow has the 180 onto Hunter, locking on. Heat missile that knows where to aim at, and so it's only caller alive. The man needs to find the ace, and he's hot for it. Take a look how much he's moving around to not be spotted and taken out from any certain position. Wants to tap them away, but nope, too many coming. Still, the double was beautiful to watch.
I mean, nice try from Ironics going for a B split. Nearly working out.
So Euronics, free AKs into Collar, Marky, and Snyder. I think that's even the best choice, giving those rifles to those 3 players, really. It's Snyder opening up phase for Otto, or more likely against Otto. And Marky trying to one-tap away Esperanto, but I think that's never really a duel you should take against SP.
And the big problem for Ironics in this round was they dropped 2 AKs, went for a long control, had 4 very nice flashes, keeping Valiant at bay, but the problem was the Molotov being thrown by Valiant, not allowing Ironics to push out of the door, and therefore just being stuck there, open the field, going for those aim duels and losing them in the end.
And they're staying relaxed in spawn. Maybe drinking good runtime. Lemon cheesecake is one of the best flavors I've so far experienced.
Yeah, I think you had a runtime earlier today.
Yeah, was actually quite decent. Taste-wise, it was decent, definitely. But what doesn't seem to taste that good is so far 3 rounds lost on the side of Euronics. Definitely nothing you really look for. And this is where I feel, and this is just my guts telling that me, is that Valiants continue to get like 5 rounds in a row, if they get that 5-round streak, I could really see them like a rocket going upwards. It's early. I know it's early, but at the end of the day.
Yeah. I mean, I know what you're getting at. It's, for me, it's interesting that we see Valiant starting on the city side. So Dust 2 was the map pick of Ironics, if I'm correct. So Valiant was able to decide on which side they would like to start.
That's Otto. Well, he directly wants a contact with Kazuya. He gets that, and he might just continue brutally slaughtering 2 of the 3 Germans of the team, which makes it now only a chance for 3. Snyder maybe aiming a little too high, but he got the right kind of idea. Not flashed, really. It seemed like he got the right vision of it. He can rotate back. No more aggression needed. Not quite sure. SP saw that player, and he taps him away. Spray works. Bullets going into the right direction, and so the A side is a bit of a vulnerable position where only one person actively stays at, and that is Otto. But with his AWP behind the car, he got the perfect positioning to take out any aggressor who wants to come too close. But Smoke, another one coming his way. He got still the perfect situation up ahead. Both might come, but they'll run into the crosshair of an AWP, and he doesn't hit his shot close by. It's Marky coming. SP waits for the fade, and the fade comes. Almost only one more player is to find. Marcus Reiten back, loading his AK. He didn't see a thing anyway, so reasonable thing to do, but he could have stayed back there and long, hiding and peeking few there from time to time. But Ironics lose another one. AWP is now twice on the side of Valiance.
And the more I think about it, I think I will take it back to the Ironics has more chances on Dust 2. Because I would say Ironics are one of those teams who have, on the T side, normally have very creative executes. But Dust 2 is a map where you don't have so many options to go for straight up execute. You have a fast B rush, which we're seeing right now.
Oh no, they're lining up. But Hunter, he just burned himself. I think that was the problem. Letney's there to arrive in time at a shooting gallery that is now owned by Valiance. Will be finished off by Otto. 3 Euronics players coming your way. You want any? Sure, you'll get them.
I'm a little bit surprised by the Molotov of Hunter. If it was planned to not go into tunnels to block off some smoke, but which smoke would it block off? It looked a little bit strange.
Actually, maybe the smoke that bounces off the left wall and goes onto the sides.
Yeah, I thought about it, but still it didn't. It looked like it wouldn't connect, so I'm not quite sure. It looked like one of those Molotovs you would think that it would just destroy.
You could smoke offside in the end,
yeah.
and then you could try to access a little better, but we're seeing a big cluster of Euronics players making the move, and maybe Valiance feels like it's time to revenge ourselves the way we played last time on this map. There comes the Molly. Holds him up for a little longer. Esperanto already being flashed in there. Oh, did he see him? No, he didn't. He just stays in the smoke. He just passes the guy who just planted the bomb. Unbelievable how Esperanto then does it. He's like turning around, somebody just poking his back and be like, sorry, sir, could you show me the way out of the A site? And Esperanto, sure. With your brain splattered in that direction, I surely can help you.
And I mean, Color must be really confused where the city came from, because he just planted a bomb and somehow there was some city standing behind him.
Teleporting.
Yeah.
He got magic powers from Lithuania. But magic power seems to be on the side of Valiance in total at all. They already have the long control, and this is where he can rely a lot. You see the player especially coming right now is Marky over middle. And Otto covers his teammate. In case this player Ovek sends in middle, it will not be his teammate Hunter dying there. Perfectly done. Really great cover system.
Yeah. mean, so far we barely see Ironix getting any entry kills. Now it's Color tagging Hunter through the wall to 21 HP. The good thing is they have a short control. The problem, they don't have long control. So they could decide to go to line control in the end, but it doesn't look like it. They're just stacking up, gathering up, goes to its B side.
Sound like a shopping list. What do I need?
Yeah.
What do I got at home already?
But I think Ironix needs a lot of luck right now. There's there's a problem for Hunter. You know he doesn't. He can't peek.
But he gets collateral at the same time. That was painful to watch in Valiance. But it looked like the man doesn't have any chance at all. But Snyder and Collar. They will have a hard time with that. They don't set anyone from tunnel though. And so I think that AK on the Hungarian, it could do a lot right now. Well, Collar whips his shot, no chance. As I say, 7-0 appears.
And we saw some great flashes being thrown from Valiant, especially we saw initial flashes being thrown, so therefore maybe Ironix even expecting those flashes, dodging them, and then there was a second wave of flashes, which the players from Ironix couldn't expect. I just had one thought. What would you think about Color instead of Otto?
What do you mean? Like switching players?
Yeah.
I wouldn't think anything of that. I mean, I can hardly judge, let's say that, but I would give Otto the benefit that he has more experience and has learned more in Counter-Strike than Collar. He has previously been at Game Agents, a Hungarian organization where you hardly know any players off. So,
Yeah, okay, you're right.
and I think my personal point of view, and that's just fully based on opinion and not really facts, is that Otto is more of a calm guy, just by his mentality being Finnish. Right now, oh my god, Hunter. Just wanted to do a monologue, you got me caught up in this, and suddenly it's him picking up a 4K. They're all lining up and he barely takes damage. First one comes around and he says, how you doing? I want another few. How about that? 8-0 secure, and this is Serbian magic. Ouch. And at the same time, Serbian magic, the streak directly slapped away.
Yeah, Esperanto taking a little bit too long.
Does he expect the pit player to come? It doesn't even matter. And this is like those 1, 2, or 2 rounds I really grant the team of Valiance right here, losing that. That feels like they went a little bit sloppy recently. Beautiful double here from Letney as his AWP skills are working out, flexing the muscles he got with the op. But then being shut down. Nexus stays close by. As he still expects a player to be over there long. He's going to be definitely confirmed, but not successful. Take a look at that again. Beautiful first, he gets on the car, flicks up, knows how he needs to stay low. And he got the idea where the second one is as well. That could have ended quite badly for Ironix there.
And even now they don't have too much money, so this round will be important. They have 2 ops picked up, one on Color, one on Kazuya, who used to be secondary op. Crispy get a nice pop flash, but there's the backup from Nexa, saving the life of his Finnish teammate. SP run, okay, through city spawn, it looked like he was in the middle, but now there are people passing and I'm not quite sure. Okay, there he goes. Just in the right moment, and even Letney pushing towards B, finding one player, getting back safely. All the right reads from Valiance. And now we have Kazuya and Color, both players who have the op. The smoke comes perfectly from Letney. I think they just need to save those ops. Of course, I could go and try something wild, but the chances are very slim.
The real Slim Shady.
Please stand up.
Another time, maybe. Did you listen to all the Eminem albums? Because I didn't, to put it already out there.
I think the old ones, yes. The new ones, some songs, but not the whole
I didn't
album.
understand that beef with Machine Gun Kelly. If you heard about
yeah,
that.
I heard about it. I think it's somewhat of just a little bit of promo, a little bit of just. I don't think it was so much personal more than it was of a professional beef.
Money.
Yeah, money and just to see who is technically better, because I think a lot of people said Machine Gun Kelly is like the new Eminem or even better than Eminem, and it was just Eminem saying, hey, I mean, maybe you can show me that you're better than me, and
That's
got
one
out
thing
of hand a little bit.
that's also interesting about Counter-Strike. Everybody remembers how, I think it was ESL Pro League Finals Season 5, where Config's trash talk Kenny S. Was it Config? I think it was Config, wasn't it? Or
But-
Cajun?
I mean, it would fit to Config because he's normally one of those funny trash talkers.
Everybody remembers trash talk.
Yeah.
Counter-Strike. Everybody remembers when somebody steps out
Yeah,
and says
Drake,
something.
for example.
Draken, everybody will say 10 majors in the future.
Yeah.
He once talked shit about CS minors.
Mm.
And he could lose a face-it puck against one guy whose grandmother was Russian, and he would say CS minors are not relevant or something. Oh, but Otto, he shows Finnish Counter-Strike is relevant. The final one would have been too beautiful, but it's not enough. Double op part 2. And the A side extremely vulnerable right now. Nexa doing it right though, not facing the op that has been picked up. That's rather a retake they're doing. But then again, Valiant's up 9-1. Double amount of players there. Utility existent. And they will definitely initiate that retake just right now. The only thing that's shocking, Letney so far away, frags are happening on every single site, but in the end, the kid is there. And the Serbian duo securing number 10.
And also securing double op setup again on the city side. Ironics, they went for it last round, therefore there's not that much money left. Probably it's just some pistols, as we can see, some grenades being bought. And 4 people towards the B, so a little bomb is waiting in front of long, so not quite sure what the game plan is. It looks like a fast A short hit, or mid hit even.
Oh,
And
Letney.
Letney.
He rotates away, but he already got his assistance ready. Supporters Aspiranto. Oh, and well, the supporter does everything right together with Letney. This is a shutdown. Euronic seems fully lost in all of this. Kazuya tries to be sneaky, tries to make it with the Glock, but if this man gets a bomb down, then I'm honestly shocked. And I think he wasn't really far away from getting that C4 on the ground. But 11-1, 10-round advantage. Guns once more on the side of Euronics, but I think they have bigger chances winning right now in Bingo than winning this game against Valiants.
Yeah, I probably agree. Chances are very slim.
You think we can get Samuel L. Jackson saying Bingo for us? Play Bingo?
I don't think so, because he always needs to use certain words who are not family friendly.
No, Morgan Freeman. I'm sorry, Morgan
Okay,
Freeman,
okay.
not Samuel L. Jackson. That was... I'm sorry. That was really inappropriate. Not really inappropriate. It was just my brain mixing up names.
Yeah. I assure you didn't mean Will Smith.
No, he just had a fun time with Lewis Hamilton recently in the last Grand Prix
you're
of
right.
Brazil. You saw it? Where they
Some of
switched
it.
players? Where they switched players, where they were making this joke like Will Smith is driving instead of Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah, and he was just
tying him to a chair.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That was a really good one. So far, looks bad for the man Otto. As the nade goes deep, it's a bit painful, but Esperanto seem to have the idea. I see color right now. He could make the run, but I'm sure the bomb is playing so open he could hardly defuse it.
And I think he's just going for exit kills because he knows Guardians has some money left. Every kill he gets would be major damage to economy, and I think he's going for an AWP.
Oh, milliseconds.
Close one.
See, what's the first memory you have in Counter-Strike? The first memorable Counter-Strike moment?
The first time I played Counter-Strike, as far as I remember, was in Serbia.
In Belgrade.
Exactly. And one of my cousins, I think his father worked for
Boss?
Telecom.
Okay.
And they had just this insane internet connection. I mean, yes, then. So it's for that time it was just amazing. And he was already playing Counter-Strike, and just he showed me how to play Counter-Strike the first time in the public server on CS Assault, waiting on the bridge, camping like a noob.
Yeah, it's a classic.
Yeah.
I remember my first year of Counter-Strike was resulting in a bad PC always crashing. It always crashed when I opened Counter-Strike, really, and that was a big yikes. What's also a big yikes for the moment is Euronics really not getting further. I mean, they grabbed their second at the moment, left Hunter alone, but there shouldn't be not too much space left for those guys. And as Kazuya hopes to get anything more. Real, the fun story about the name of Kazuya is... I'll just tell that later. I'll keep it. But Marky, that Molotov was weirdly thrown. I think that could have been very expected. Esperanto just comes out. Number one, not number two. It would have been so typical Esperanto if he would have made that double. That was really a typical signature Aspi move where he says, like, screw this, I'm coming out of that. 12-2. Final one for Euronics. And there's the funny story I want to tell about Kazuya.
Yeah.
So his name is Oliver Maximilian Heck.
Mm-hmm.
He was banned by the ESL for 2 years in 2010 for typing in a console command that gave him $16,000 at the beginning of the round.
Yep, exactly.
And his last name is Heck. He didn't use aimbot or wall hack or something like that, but it's still funny. Your name is Heck with last name, and you're being banned by the ESL for 2 years for cheating.
Yeah, and he probably thought VaduHack.
You know the clip where Shroud has VaduHack in his car?
Yeah.
And he's like going down the riff. No, it's not VaduHack. It's Banana Man.
Ah, yeah, you're right.
Banana Man. And Shroud, to every single pro player out there, Shroud is the best example why you should start streaming as a pro anytime, any day.
Yep. I also like the whole team of Mythic. Are they called Mythic?
Yeah, with Flom.
Flom.
Adren?
Yeah. Polo?
Yeah, I'm going to say Pollen? Is it Pollen?
Maybe.
Poland, yeah, P-O-L-E-N, I think it is.
And Steel.
No, Steel is part of Ghost, I think. You're really getting me into trouble here.
I thought about Haste, exactly, yeah, Haste. And Poland, yeah, Poland, Flom, Haste, Anger, Adren.
Yeah, Haste, right.
And Flom has also great YouTube content because I know he's an AWP player and he has always some great insight how to play AWP on Mirage B and just some little insights on YouTube that you could check out.
Seems like Euronics could use that.
Yeah. All the insight they can get.
All the insight they would need. Well, for the moment, Valiance is abrogating a long aggression. Just for the moment. Sides found a frag by now. Over long, they will definitely come. Letney's timing is so crucial, and that's beautiful. What Snyder starts here, but there it comes. A Letney finally is arriving over short. It took him a few seconds here and there, but Crispy, they're with us. 13 free. And there's the sign of life. This is the first CT round, but how much further can they go from this?
Oh, look at Valiant. They're already expecting Euronics.
This looks like a comité awaiting you, and I was like, "Hello, how are you doing?" It's phenomenal. I mean, they're looking, they're knowing that there's somehow aggression really on the side when you have those bad guns.
Just like this silly cartoon trap where you have like, I don't know, some cookie or something and there's a box over it. It looked like this, like, come on, color, there's free map control.
Do something.
Free map control. Just go T-spawn.
There's a stick holding it up.
Exactly. Yeah.
It just snatches. Well, Valiants could use it as their Tom and Jerry trap worked quite well. Kazuya's not checking onto short. This could have been such valuable information. But we're already realizing Kazuya as well as Snyder, they're moving around. It's only Marky who's left back on the side. And if they find the right timing, that would be phenomenal. But Kazuya announced himself. There are a few players that are coming. All are flashed, but all are crouched. And that bomb's down, no matter what. That bomb is going down, and it's helping them a lot. And it's even going in their way. It's only Marky alive, and he's far away from the actual pack. Makes himself known. Otto just got to use his MP9 quite wisely. As he stays back on the site, it's only Aspie who needs to get his attention. And this is where he could have waited. Aspie just faking it out, seeing where he can end with this, but I know Aspie, he could make it, but he didn't. Could have been played smarter, still a lot of damage dealt.
Especially from Otto, I'm not quite sure why he just went all in. He could have played a little bit better with SP together, especially SP could have just maybe baited some shots, bait Marky to not really care about Otto. But still this round got way too close. They only had some P250s and Glocks and somehow they nearly made it. And look at the economy from Euronics. If they lose this round, I mean, it's nearly over. Oh, the line control is perfect. SP with two nice flashes.
What? This is a miracle. This is just a miracle. And I think he got 12 million Lithuanian Guardian Angels, giving himself some kind of aura.
Yeah. It looked like he was dead for at least 5 times.
I mean, it could have been friendly fire killing him.
Yeah.
But also logically those CTs, but unbelievable long control that in the end worked. As Parento was the runner, he was baiting. It seemed like it, at any rate it worked. And Euronics money, take a look at those CTs.
And especially great from Esperanto. I mean, he went in first, and I would see him more as a second entry. So if you're first out, you normally are the one who will die, most likely. And you saw him trust his teammate so well that he even went out of the door with 2 flashes in hand and flashing around the corner for his CTs who would then maybe just come out.
And there are the bullets. Nearly going in the right direction. The worst is the chances and the probability of Euronics getting the round is quite low. The follow-up even comes in with worse money-wise. I mean, 1,900 is guaranteed for every single one additionally, and if Crispy doesn't perform, we would have some German magic trick he would have needed there. 15-4, 2,000. Scouts, come on everyone, 4 scouts. This is gonna be This is gonna be good. This is gonna be really, really good.
Maybe it's gonna be the Zesh rule.
Yeah, I don't want to have Sestral number 1. What? Uh-oh. Otto's re-peeking. They're lining up.
He
How
got
did he only
hit.
get... How?
I have no idea. Oh, Hunter.
Let's take a look there. Was a scout. No idea what Kazuya thought of that. Esperanto spray doesn't work, and well, the reasonable option would pick the bomb and go B. Unbelievably, it's Letney being dinked that way. Nexa peeking out. 16-4 on Dust 2. It was not really any round where you saw Euronics standing a single chance, and that was painful.
And can you remember what are the Serbians saying right now? Come on, you got it. Come on.
Nah, I don't remember.
Idemo momci.
Idemo momci. Yes,
Idemo
of course.
momci.
Serbian Belgrade school coming
Yeah.
in from Sini. When we talk about it, I think we hardly need to mention anything. Everyone from Valiance was on point. The mid control looked very decent. Great combination in defense you saw on the CT side.
Yeah.
Not much to comment on that.
Yeah, just individually outplaying Euronics. Euronics not really as creative as on Cash, and therefore, yeah, just if you compare it pure individual skill-wise, every player Valiance is way better.
100%.
So, yeah.
I mean, Nexa was there. Otto was hitting his shots properly. Esperanto, every single one. I would really give them. That was a great team effort.
Yep.
And that's how you can grab yourself a lovely win in the end. 3 points for Valiance guaranteed in the UML, bringing them a little further right now in the standings. Red Reserve, though, they could also pick up 3 in total, which would also bring them on the top of their standings. Wendigo is going to be the opponent. Straight up, this is one of the best, one of the best duels we're going to have. Everything that involves Sprout, AGO, Valiance, Wendigo, and who am I missing? I'm missing a 5th. LDLC is definitely a top matchup.
Yeah.
And we're having a top matchup. We're taking a look at that veto real quick. How will that one work out for each site? Red Reserve coming in, having the advantage with that veto. And the insta-ban in this could be Nuke, could be Inferno. That's the decision up to them.
Yeah, I agree. Both maps are most likely maps to be banned from Red Reserve. On the side of Wendigo, I would say Overpass could be one of those maps they should probably ban. It's one of the best maps of Red Reserve and one of the worst maps from Wendigo. Other than Overpass, I mean, it's gonna be a tough call. Maybe Cash ban from Wendigo also. They played it at least 7 times with a decent win rate, but it's the best map from Red Reserve right now. So I think Wendigo would be a good choice for them to go for Overpass and Cash ban.
Yeah, indeed.
I think in the end we'll probably most likely see Dust 2 again.
No, and that seems to be one of the maps I definitely would also look forward to. Red Reserve so far doing a decent job when it comes to Dust 2. For example, if you remember, it was them winning against Tricked, Valiance, Havu, all of them here in the UML. Definitely teams you can look out for. But it seems like Red Reserve are missing their veto. And, well, for the moment, we probably will have a bit of an advantage here for Wendigo. Yeah, looks like it. That auto ban is incoming, and that means Wendigo might just get a really good map pull into this. So I love the jam. Jam is really good. That's something I could, especially when the guitar riff sets in.
Yeah.
I could imagine going somewhere through the American desert with my Chevy.
Maybe through Dust 2.
For Dust 2.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
where
also,
on Dust 2 could you, besides Long,
Yeah.
where could you drive through?
I mean, you can also not only drive on the street. It's a free country. It's a desert.
Yeah, but like, explain to me, how do you want to drive on Dust 2 with a car? Give me that.
You just start in the pit and drive.
Okay, you go for the pit.
Yeah.
We're driving for the pit, okay?
Yeah.
Then we do it left turn to CT spawn. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
So where do we go from there?
Then you could make. Okay, I mean, you can. Someone ask nicely to open up the doors on
Okay,
B,
yeah,
maybe, maybe even middle. I mean, there's some possibilities.
So,
You
okay,
could go for.
and if you're going to the B side, where do you go from there? Tunnels is not possible to go for tunnels.
I mean, if you drive with a smart, it's possible.
Yeah, but I wouldn't drive with a smart.
Or Peugeot, maybe a small one.
No, not gonna happen.
Or VW Käfer,
A Beetle.
a Beetle. Yeah. Also not.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't drive with that, very honestly. I mean, who would drive? Okay, there are cool cars. I'll give you that right now. Rito is gonna be restarted. Yeah, go ahead. Come on, give it to me.
Did you see there's there's this movie with
Herbie.
yeah, exactly. Did-
Too easy.
did-
With
did-
the 53, the white Beetle with the blue and red livery.
yeah.
That's Herbie.
Did you watch the movie?
Of course, I watched
Okay.
Herbie. And that's something. Hire was a
Okay.
really great movie. I loved
Yeah,
it a lot.
yeah.
It was always fun. Now let's take a look at our actual veto. Finally, we're seeing something happen, and there comes the ban of Train, and that is something I find
Interesting.
interesting.
Yeah.
It's unusual to put it that
Yeah,
way.
I mean, I understand it to a certain point because Windigo really likes to play Train. They played Train before in the UML and looked quite promising on it. So maybe Red Reserve not so sure about Train, but the thing is, then they won't be able to ban Nuke or Inferno, where they just have an abysmal rate. Nuke only played 4 times. They won it once.
Yeah,
Inferno played 9 times and only won
I mean,
22% of that.
it's hard to
maps.
imagine that Windigo, if they really think about it, will not go for banning any of those maps you just mentioned.
Yeah. Because Windigo right now should probably just go for Cache or Overpass, probably both maps, and then, I mean, in the end, Inferno Nuke pick. I would say that's the best case for them, especially Inferno could be also promising, if you remember how they played against Ego.
Yeah.
But now Windigo is taking their time.
There we
And
go.
there it is,
Cache.
Cache. Okay.
Understandable decision. I mean, especially as it worked out quite well for them. Inferno being banned, and now there would be technically Luke left over as one of the worst maps. I just don't 100% see Windigo picking that for the moment, whilst
Yeah.
I think Overpass, as it has been banned in the end, was the viable option in this, but we could definitely go into Dust 2 when we take a look at it.
I think Red Reserve will pick Dust 2. Now, Windigo could go for Nuke because Red Reserve doesn't like to play Nuke, but I think Windigo will just go for Mirage. It's their best map.
It's the safest approach.
77% win rate. Of course, they know that also Red Reserve likes to play or is decent at Mirage, but I don't think Windigo is going for a gamble. They're just going to play their strength and pick Mirage, I would say. But they seem to be thinking about maybe gambling even a little bit.
Yeah, it seems like they're going to take their time in that one. 20 more seconds to make the decision. Maybe there is really the gamble. I mean, there it is,
Okay.
Mirage, as expected. Dust 2 and Mirage, a classic combo where we're going to see who's going to make it out of that successfully. The Purple Owl, the Red and White Shield. We're going to take a look at that. Beforehand, check out the social media of the United Masters League, where you can find out all the information. Logically, follow us on Twitch to be always updated on what's happening. We'll just take a little break. We'll just be right back in a second with the action of the final match of Monday's UML.
Sie haben eine Big Box bestellt? Vati, wer war das?
Das war irgend so ein hässlicher Typ, Mann. Riesengroß war der auch.
Hässlicher Typ? Ich mag keine hässlichen Typen.
Ich auch nicht, ey.
Was ist denn das?
Ich glaube, das ist so eine Big Box bei runtime.gg. Vielleicht sollten wir das Unboxing-Video machen. man nicht, ne?
Welcome back to nothing else than the UML, the place you definitely have been looking for from time to time, the place you're looking forward to see a match between two of, well, Europe's most promising teams. I will put it that way.
Yeah, I agree, and I think both have a similar play style, playing a little bit individual. They've both had great offers. I mean, we have Poise on the one hand, doing a great job in the UML so far, great rating, probably one of the best ops next to Nog, I would say.
Yeah.
Then we've also Draken, a very experienced player, maybe the most experienced player
Very flashy
in the UML.
offer.
Yeah, exactly. So it's gonna be a very interesting match. I mean, we'll see a lot of highlights, I think.
Now, especially with a Poison, with a Drake, and as you've mentioned, two players totally trying to figure that one. Poison being a fairly new addition, we have once more two teams that aren't together for too long. If Grux is official, I don't know about that yet, very honestly. I couldn't figure it really too much, whilst Poison is a quite new addition. Right now, though, Wendigo are on the right track. I mean, in the beginning, the first match of the UML has been Valiant versus Wendigo, and that was not that great for that team, where I already thought Valiant will definitely bring this entire performance to the table often again.
Yeah.
Right now, though, Wendigo, their chance to really prove themselves against the top team in the UML again.
Yeah, and it's again one of those matches where I think both teams need those points to secure the playoffs, especially if you look at the top four in the end. It's going to be a tough fight, and this could be an important match. I mean, both teams having a good chance of winning 2-0.
Right.
It probably just depends on who has the better aiming today, who is feeling more confident today, who is hitting those shots.
That's true. I mean, who especially is going to hit those shots after, you know, we've also been seeing professional player. I mean, the key players whiffing. Best example is LDLC, but you can also go for something like Expert. Sure, you're not on the same level, but Light, for example, not doing his job properly. So it comes down to that, pretty much. Dust 2 definitely a map where frags are really important, where frags and individual performances matter the most, but there it comes down to how experienced are both on Dust 2 and how well will just play out from the just strat book they have opened up.
Yeah, but especially Dust 2, I think we already saw it against Valiance against Oronix. It wasn't too much tactical, although Oronix is one of those teams who is very creative in a tactical sense. And it was just more or less Valiant just individually outperforming Oronix. And this time around, it's going to be just a clash of aim duels.
True.
In every case.
Right. I mean, that's especially where it comes down. And, you know, we need to remind us, one of the best performances in the UML when it comes down to Dust 2 has been this Godoplin, if we remember correctly. Yeah. So how much is he going to step into that? Because we haven't seen him consistently being on the top of the scoreboard when it comes down to that. But we have seen great performances with ballsy plays from Hampus. You might remember there were a few A-side takes against Valiance where they felt really confident in those duels.
Yeah.
And so far extremely successful in the UML in general. Once more, can they bring that to the table is the question.
Yeah, I agree. I think both teams have very strong players, but who also sometimes have a bad day.
Yeah.
So, for example, I would say Ship's someone who can go very insane and carry a game on his own, but also can just struggle and with some basic shots. Same goes for Victor, one of the men with the maybe most beautiful smile in the UML.
He won that prize already for me.
Yeah, so
Alex is good competition.
we still need to work on the top 5.
Yeah, we definitely need to. And once in a while, we'll release that. So stay updated. And that's a perfect timing to talk about social media. We'll soon get you something published that is mostly featured about the best smiles of the UML. Every time when you take a look at the HUD, we're having those faces of the players. And I mean, you can also send in your smile. You can also send in your favorite player smile. Who's the most happiest looking player?
Yeah.
I mean, Crispy was also on the list. Crispy for sure. Remember.
Yeah,
definitely. Crispy most definitely is on that list.
I'm not quite sure. I mean, I like Crispy a lot, but
sure.
we still need to go through the list.
I played Face It with him on Saturday. It was really fun, actually.
Did you win?
We won Overpass. I played with ECFN as well. We played Overpass. We won that, I think. We lost Inferno, though. It was really fun. Playing with him was
it's always fun.
It was very, very hilarious. Yeah. At the end of the day, though, logically, #UML, UM_league is where you can go to figure out the most about social media. Right now, we're just waiting for the teams to start here on the lovely bit of Dust 2. This is also the time where we can quickly, just for a few seconds, mention bingo. Well, You want to go ahead? You never done it.
What's bingo, you mean?
Yeah.
It's easy to play. It's free to play. You just go on the page of Unicorn. You have a tab called Bingo. You click on it. You need to create an account. That's all you need. And then you just you pick out the match, you join the match, and then you can just play and win CSGO
Gift
skins,
cards,
gift cards.
keys as well.
For cases, exactly.
Yeah,
I think
that's
Horizon
quite
case
cool.
keys, yeah, and it's all for free. And if you're lucky, you'll win a nice skin. And if not, you're still
You can
watching
still watch
the game,
exactly
enjoying
the game you watched
frags, yeah,
anyway.
so
So that's the deal. I mean, if you're watching us, you can still watch it on the Unicorn website where you have the same experience, the same stream, pretty similar, and you can still just play bingo at the same time. Super easy to explain also there on the website where you can figure out more about it. And, the most important part is free.
Yep.
Only register. No additional information. I've done it myself. I entered my email address, I've entered my password, that's it.
Yeah.
So no credit card, nothing there. And the cool part is if you're watching this because you're betting, well, on Unicorn, you can also bet. So you can bet there, watch the game, and play bingo. So you have actually 2 chances of winning something. If your favorite team doesn't win, that's unfortunate. But on the other hand, you can still win something at the same time with bingo.
yeah, exactly.
It's as easy as it goes. Simple. That's how we Germans sometimes function. Simple, down to earth. Very classic approach. That's how it goes. Talking about that right now, though. I really want to see something that has happened previously when it came down to Dust 2. And I unfortunately don't remember which team it was, but Windigo, you might remember that, had many situations where they played extremely weird, where they were very separated from each other, and they were still attacking sites. You might remember that.
Yeah.
And that was something I don't want to see today. I want to see a Windigo that definitely has the option to make this work, to really bring it to, well, a successful 2-0, because I personally see them having a little bit, not too much, but a little bit the upper hand here.
Yeah, I agree. Although I'd say Red Reserve play a similar style where they go, everyone plays for himself at some point. I mean, if you look at Mirage especially, one will lurk in A Palace, one may be slow, one will go for B contact plane. You just look where you can find any frags, and everyone is just playing for themselves to some point. And I think both teams have this loose play style. We're looking pick and play style more or less, maybe even some planned rushes together that explodes, but it's not such a tactical deep play style if you compare it to other teams who have very
Sprout, for example.
insane execute. So yeah, it's just going to be an individual skill. The only thing I'm looking forward to is when talking about Mirage.
Yep.
If you can remember the game, I think it was Windigo against Existence Galaxy.
Where it took the top mid control the entire time?
And like all the time.
That was perfect CT strats. Really, that was really the playbook open up. And then we're looking like, okay, what are the few basics we have up our sleeve that work mostly? And that really shut down the entire... But they were disabled. They didn't even have any idea. So I see Red Reserved, especially with a Draken being way too experienced. Draken mid-round calling, so this is where the top team experience he has is going to chime in. Let's take a look how that one will go. Dust 2, we're starting in our final best of 2 of the day.
Maybe you already see one smoke, one flash on Grax and one P250. That's more like it. And it's an interesting setup for Windigo. So aggressing towards the middle and even lower dungeon. The thing is, will they expect one player close? Bubble needs to hit this shot because he will be in big trouble.
And there they all come. Tunnels is being contested. So they see that they only got 2 left on the battlefield. Bubble with that top mid aggression. I'm not quite sure if he has spotted this good up. Now that's for sure. Now Draken arriving at the same time. And there you have a problem here, Draken. You really start to struggle. William Sundin might be getting out of that situation, but has a bit of a hard time up ahead. Lower tunnels, 2-0 waiting. He can't tap away a single one. 1-0 for Windigo. That's the start.
And a very beautiful start with a great CD setup. Probably the perfect answer for the default we saw Red Reserve play. Splitting low tunnels and top mid. And it's Draken. I mean, this time Poison winning the duel of the ops, and this, I I mean, of the scouts, if you wanna be exact. But Poison even getting tagged, so still damage done. This Goblin able to pick up the scout. And they're still going for eco, so they will buy next round. Oh, the nade doing a lot of damage and Poison.
Oh no, this is painful. He saw another one, and there he comes. Support. Bubble finished it off though. And now you need to take a look. If Brooks or this Godoplin will stand any chance.
Yeah, and if people are wondering, so why would Draken buy a scout when his teammates are ecoing? Draken probably, he knows he doesn't have enough money to buy an AWP next round anyway, no matter how much he saves. So he can go for a scout.
Okay, Grux. Well, okay, he just wants those deagle shots, and I'm gonna accept that. But the poor man caught from behind. Still 2 CTs taken out. This is hurting, as reinvestment has to be done by those players.
Yeah, now Draken will go for another scout, I suppose. Yep, there he is.
You're a wizard, CD. Oh, but he needs some wizard shots, to put it that way. Duel of the scouts. That is being won by Poison. 2-0, you could say. And so Poison, he definitely needs to retreat. Blocker has a great crossfire together with him. At the same time, he peeks too wide, and Freddie B is going to utilize that. Lost Victor definitely spotted one. Does he really want to re-peek that? He still stays alive for a little. Ships. Yogg being the right tool in many occasions. Has a bit of a powerhouse coming against him in the middle. 2 players aiming down there. And then finding the frag.
This was a perfect round to summarize probably the whole game, how it's gonna go from there. Just pure aim duels. I feel like there was not even one flash being thrown. It felt like it, just everyone battling it out. Going for a skill. That's Victor pushing middle. Getting deleted by Hampus.
And as we're seeing one after another falling from the Wendigo sights. Poison. He hopes that he can stay alive. Barely stands a chance in that. But there's the UMP doing something at this. If Ships would have connected the shot, would have been perfect. Then this situation would have been sort of realistic. But Blocker doesn't stand a chance at all. A quick 2-2. And can we just point out one thing?
Yeah.
I'm still asking myself, till this day, how Poison can play 93 maps in the last 3 months and have a consistent 1.3 rating. That's, I mean, I understand 1.15, 1.2, okay.
Yeah.
But 1.3? He surely got a lot of that back in his time when he was at B-Pro, but it's still outstanding to me. And when we take a look only at his performance in Wendigo, where he's just 36 days in, he's still at 1.28.
Yeah, I mean, he's doing a very great job. I'm not quite sure how experienced he is or how much more potential he has, but if he keeps growing, he could be at least at that level of, yeah, exactly, yeah.
I mean, he's the AWPer as well, so I wouldn't even be too surprised. And Victor doesn't see a thing, shuts down 2, and the man with the biggest smile in the UML definitely spotted that bomb. Players separated from each other. The AWP from Draken. We'll see where it can go from that. Bomb being picked. Oh, the shots are coming in a little too late. Ships might just have the right timing for all of that. Yes, he makes that one work. He saw the player up there in top mid. And your sense would tell you there's no reason to peek, but his sense is telling him, I'm just gonna get that guy. And he did exactly do that one right. A great start and has been stopped for a little. but what has been put onto hold is back alive.
And it was interesting to know that both teams are or tend to play way better on the T side, and especially Red Reserve with 63 or nearly 64% of the rounds won were on the T side. So I think they at least need to get 9 rounds on T side, maybe even 10. And I would say, if you're struggling with your CT side, one of those consequences could be that you don't have the best team play and you rely too heavily on just pure aiming and trading kills or finding opening kills. Because on CT side, if you face 5 enemies rushing your way, many flashes being thrown, you need to have good communication and team playing setups to have somewhat of a chance. Oh, beautiful.
Painful as it was at the same time. On the Red Reserve side of things, it's not going to work with too many players anymore. This Godoplan sprays all over the place. And Ships with free HP is going to be caught in the end. Don't forget, this is picked by Red Reserve. So, them leading is the only logical option right now to say that. Victor, though, well, he uses his smile to shine at this Godoplan, while the MP9 shines to get into combination with a ZZ. We're 20 seconds into this, and Red Reserve only has 40% of its firepower left.
Yeah, Red Reserve lost the first player after 10 seconds on A long and probably thought, hey, maybe they're stacking A, maybe it's just a crazy A long push with just a few pistols. Oh, trouble. Now he has the bomb, a free op, and it's only Freddy B. He somehow found his way towards the B side, but the timing's perfect for Ships, not really able to react.
I mean, he could throw the Molotov and force one of the players who's possibly standing in the corners out, but
yeah.
I mean, that would be the first thing to do. There, he could drop it. That will be a player rotating away. Oh, and Victor still staying alive somehow. No idea how that one happened.
That's a Molotov in the first, I think, 2 or 3 seconds. It's not dealing too much damage, so it's always a good idea to take the damage in the beginning, wait a few seconds, and then peek. And if you're lucky, he won't expect you. And it's Victor smiling his usual way.
You can take a look at that your entire day. The feeling when you get an ace. That's Victor's smile. But pointing that out real quick, Hampus and Grux together got 21 frags. Disco Doppler, Drake, and Freddy B got 8. That is quite some numbers Grux is putting up.
Yeah, he has nearly as many kills as all of his teammates combined.
Yes.
And maybe it's again one of those days where Grax tries to make the case for himself.
I mean, he still needs to prove himself a little. Mostly coming out of nowhere, or you need to see who is that Grux guy? Where did he play before? Is he known for anything? And well, he used to play at a team called Paper Planes, which was back then together with guys like Knack, interestingly enough, which we definitely know, but besides that, Creets, maybe you heard about him. That's really it. So, he definitely needs to prove himself. Funny-wise, also, it was him playing a LAN back a while ago. That was, if I'm not totally wrong, good bit ago. But first of all, let's take a look though. Blocker bombing over 30B, but Hampus somehow getting the round. He missed a lot of action while trying to cover up with Grux.
If you just look at the stats from Grux under the banner of Red Reserve, especially in the last few weeks, it didn't look too good for him. He had one just amazing game against Expert, but other than that, yeah, I mean, he really needs to prove himself. Because I would say it's okay if you're not the Mad Fragger who always has 1.2 rating or something, but you need to deliver something to your team.
Yep.
And Grug's also one of those players, I think, who hasn't so many flash assists. So even in that case, he's lacking a little bit.
Now we see Hampus making the right shot. Everyone on the Windigo falling down. And as I said,
Yep.
I don't even know anymore. I know what I'm doing wrong.
Yeah, as you said, of course, it's the opposite happening.
How is that possible? Do you think as a kid I was falling into the orange box?
I mean, just in a, I don't know, in a well full of odds and
Predictions.
yeah, predictions.
There's one man who prevails. But right now, who prevails in that? What's definitely, for the moment, not looking like the sight of Windigo. As Hampus has opened up DE bots, aim bots, excuse me. Trying his best, and Ships has only response to all of that. But it's the other side where players are coming from. He could just hide, possibly, but no Zeus range at all. There's Godoplin snatching away the final frag. No ace for the man Hampus. But at the end of the day, 7-4, and so far it looks good for Red Reserve. How far can they drag this further is the question.
It looks promising, but still they need at least 10 rounds because they have an abysmal CD side. So although it looks very good for them, especially after this Godop and Grux open up this round, there's still poison with the Scout. But this time doing just some damage, but not enough at the Molotov. Going into a very interesting angle.
Beautiful tap coming in. And the nade will go deep. Bird ships massively. And there the tap comes in. 8-4. Draken.
You could already see probably his teammates saying, yeah, he's slow, he's slow, he's slow. So Draken going for a pistol kill and hitting once, hitting
He
twice.
was slow.
I mean, 50 HP.
No, he wasn't. Wasn't he naded down to 24?
I don't think so. I mean, he just took 2 or 3 bullets from Draken. It looked like Draken, I think he got a little bit upset after the first 2 bullets that he wasn't still dead. Especially, I mean, Windigo have a big problem getting a long control down. It seems like they are most of the time losing a long control if Red Reserve decides to go aggressive. And also, I would just say Poison needs to take better care of his economy. I mean, especially last round where they went for a full equip round, he only played a Scout because there was not enough money for an AWP, and LS2 is one of those maps where you really need an AWP. They're going for a small pistol buy. I mean, losing bonus should be at max right now. So Poison should be easily able to buy an AWP with all that money in the next round. But then it's gonna be 9-4, and it really feels and looks like Red Reserve is going to take. I mean, Poison is always finding Draken with the scout shot through the wall.
I think we need to take a look at the analytics afterwards, how it looks like with opening duels and how they have been won. But he knows there's a man behind the box. He just needs to escape by close by. That's Ships using that wisely. But Freddy B could just come around and do it right. There's a scout that will say nope. You don't get any further. This man keeps on scouting his way from position to position. And what's kind of scary from Red Reserve, I mean, if they don't pick up really those 10 rounds, it might look a little sinister for them. Because the reason for all of that is Red Reserve in all the UML matches always had something like a 12-3, 13-2 half.
Yeah.
And from that point on, you have a comfortable, an extremely comfortable start, lead, you know? And the problem that then occurs is that if you have something, imagine we're having a possible 7 to 8.
Yeah.
This is where it gets disgusting. Goblin, right awareness, right timing, number 9, and for Indigo's economy, it allows them to go for pretty much everything they're looking for. Double op setup happening.
Yeah, but Judge Reserve this time going for mid control. I think it didn't have the best. A long spawn, Xbox smoke. Ships could find the opening kill in the middle, and he's even going for the second. I mean, that's a start you need, but then Hampus again finding the opening. A side now open. Oh, the flash working perfectly, and Ships maybe taking a little bit too much faith. The moment will push through the Molotov, through the flash.
Oh, that was important from Hampus. That duel should have been all his. I mean, that would have been the ticket to the A side. Free access, bomb down, and here would be good to go, but not allowed. Bulgarian police is holding you up. Break into his right-hand side. Oh, it's a bubble. One body shot. This guy eliminated. They don't check onto bubble. Now he comes. Now he's found. Freddy B's timing was perfect. Blocker though getting onto the first, but not onto the second. The bulb will be down. He could technically pick the AWP from his teammate. Both could do if they'd like to. But every single position eliminated for the moment for Victor. Smoke, he could technically go through if he feels like it. Oh, and he's dancing around the box. Already seen him. He doesn't need to take that duel. Just to remind you, he does not need to take that duel, but either less. He can't even win the duel. And Victor possibly smiling the way he just did there, clutching that one out for his team. And maybe even denying the double digits onto Red Reserve.
Yeah, they still have a very good buy, but it looked like it's some of the last money they have. And now Draken taking blocker to 19 HP. Something you hate to see. Oh, this good up is really going for a long control. He even finds Victor. Getting tagged down to 19 HP. But it's still a 4v4. A lot of happening right now, and that's exactly what I meant. We saw someone finding a frag on A long, someone dying on middle, then Freddy B finding a frag on B, finding someone CT spawn, Ships pushing towards middle, so it's all over the place. Everyone is playing for himself. And that's the kind of playstyle we need to expect from Red Reserve, and I think also from Indigo.
Well, talking about opening duels, Ships and Draken, mentioning that, Ships has won one opening duel so far, whilst Draken has lost 3 in total. And talking about scouts, its success, that gives you some sort of idea.
I think Poison has 3 opening duels he won, so I really think all those 3 were the scout shots through the wall in the middle.
Oh, and Hampus. You could call it aggressive, but how much more aggressive setup will we see from them? Freddy B stays in middle. He definitely hears those steps. And that was the whiff from Draken. That could have given him so much opportunity. Nobody really seemed to have him on the radar. But he still whiffed those shots. Grux, where's your aim going? Because you got to hit those. But Freddy B is alive to assist him. And that means ships. No armor. One Glock. Spotted out. Hardly anything to find. If Freddy B needs to take the duel, he will take it. He will make it work. And there comes number 11 for the team.
It will be interesting to see. Okay, they're really going for it. I didn't expect Windigo to go all in, but yeah, I mean, I forgot it's Windigo. If they have the chance to go all in.
Revenge!
Yes. Exactly. I think Drake must feel so happy, especially for this 1 second where he got the opening kill.
Filthy Frank walked in and said it's time to stop. Grux takes such a duel. It's amazing.
It was 1:35 on the timer, and already 2 CTs nearly push towards C spawn.
Yeah.
But look at all the damage dealt. I mean, it's still a possibility. 30 HP on Grux, 30 on Grux. It's on Hampus, so it's only 1 AK hit for each player. Disco Upland even only 2 HP. Ready be the only one, and he's on the B side, the only player with still some HP left.
Oh, there we go. Freddy B catching the triple, and Windigo might be falling short quite early on, to put it that way. If they continue, that looks perfect, if you ask me.
And then again, Disco Upland just going, I think, up towards middle. Oh, okay, he's even waiting. He's somewhat patient. Oh, but now Grux. Oh, hello. Only 1 HP left.
It definitely has an ugly time up ahead of him. Hampus needs to step in, and there he comes with more and more. And that one tap, somehow unbelievable. It works with an MP9 in rare occasions. Like it's like it's a rare Pokemon. They wear rare cards, right?
Yep.
Take a look. This is Pikachu. There's a Glomanda. Then there's
You.
Exactly.
You know, if you develops, what's the next step?
You and me.
You too. No, it's Mewtwo.
I don't know anything about Pokemon. How should I?
I mean, it's not the most creative idea, I would say, but...
Yeah, sure. No, I love Pokemon. For the moment, this could also... finding another frag. The B side already open for Windigo, and they'll definitely take that one. Too aggressive from the man himself. Hampa switching over to the AK is a very reasonable thing in all of that. This man can somehow enter the site with ease, and over the left-hand side, he knows there's a player. Nearly finds him. Victor put down to 5. Oh, and that Molo can bring him down. Oh, he just escapes in time. There's the op of poison. Not doing what an op would really sometimes do. Just shoot a little too early. He stays patient. Drake does the right thing. Rotates away, goes home, and keeps that rifle alive. There's one hunting him. And that was an unnecessary risk. 6-14. Red Reserve are on the side where they usually tend to get a little less rounds. But they could still finish it off over here. And I see a lot of scouts. And I see a bubble in danger. I see a bubble and a poison in danger. The scouts show that somehow, you know, those Swedes have adapted from the Bulgarians. It could work for them. Grux just needs to make those shots count. He does, at least with 1, at least with 2, and suddenly a double from a scout. And also from a Deagle, free AK. And he legs him. Scouts and Deagles. New meta question mark. Because that was actually a good play.
I think it was a good play.
A risky one.
A risky one from Red Reserve. The problem was that Windigo really challenged 4 scouts with 2 ops. Because we saw all 6 players missing their shots initially, and then the T's still re-peeking. At this point, if you just see there are 4 people in the middle waiting, it's probably not the best idea to re-peek.
I would agree.
Yeah, just tell your teammates, hey, I think there are 4 people with a scout waiting in the middle. Maybe you take a long control, maybe you rush on the B side. Probably no one will be there. And so far, I mean, if you look at the stats for 1 second, we see Hampus and Grux performing really well. And it's a little bit surprised to see Draken with only 8 frags. He's normally the one who's always, performing decently or even outperforming his teammates. But this time around, it's the stand-in, if you want to call him that way.
And there is also the odd part about all of that. Draken, 8 to 12. So far, no real impact from Mr. Sundin, who usually stands on a 1.17 rating, especially when we talk about Dust 2. The man comes in the last 3 months in total on a 1.53 rating. Not too many maps, but at the end of the day, I think still something you can put in there. So Draken, that's at least ball. Players are coming close. The Bulgarians are coming too close. Not quite sure what the thought process behind that one was, but the bomb's still laying on shorts. And Disco Doppelin. Top mid he really needs to take a look at. Another one arriving, but Draken is the man who now needs to shine in. Start shining to get those kills. Well, for short he could go, but his chances are limited, to put it that way. But 2 frags possible to obtain, especially as there's no counter up. There, just walks by. Around in just a second. Oh, and that's smart. He baits at the sound that anyone just dropped down in a second, and they're peeking together. A good idea. You got to give him that. But that peek together as a group, that made it work.
That was always a classic move in 1.6 when you played Adstack or Chateau to drop your pistol in the water and take the water sound as you yourself maybe drop down. It's again straight up against scouts, so I'm not quite sure why still all those T scouts and ops are challenging the player in the middle. But it's A-side control. Grux could be able to find one.
Oh no, do you see it? There it goes. Now I want to see jumping eagle shots. For the moment, FAMAS not successful enough. Grux stays back at CT. If you're looking for more, and what a long-range shot he just obtained there. Beheaded blocker from miles away. At least that's what it felt like. And Grux might look for more in that occasion. Will peek out. Player still on site. Smoke that will now pop. Victor is just a body shot away from dying. But there's not going to be a defuse. There's no kit really existent. They still take every single player down. And that is going to hurt Windigo in the long run. Though, they get the bomb down. They win the round. Nice try to run for it.
And those 2 frags, I think they were from Blocker or Bubble. I think from Bubble on A long was so crucial, because if they lose A long control, both players on the side are really screwed, because then they can get attacked from long and short, and there's not so much wiggle room where they could be in the end. This time it's Poise. I mean, he really knows his way around the scout.
Will this scout nonsense ever stop? We will never know. But what we'll though know. Oh no,
hit him.
Hampus to free HP. I was waiting for the scream. We didn't have it in the long run. We didn't have it in a long time, and it's really unfortunate. As I've been missing that MP3 file.
I think there still needs to be a sound if you hit someone. Maybe not the full sound, but maybe just a little like you got hit for
Jesus. Yeah, no, I think maybe just a short, maybe a speed up version.
Not too strong. It's just needs to be like you got a little.
When you like a mosquito, it's
Yeah, like
yeah, I get you. No, I'm with that.
Yeah.
I signed that idea. If I would be at Wolf,
yeah. These are the most important fixes we need right now.
it basically sums up Wolf. Yeah. Okay, guys, come on. What do we need? You got an idea. You got an idea. New sounds for the taser. Okay, we're gonna ship that 100%. A one-shot revolver. That sounds good. We're gonna ship that. Oh, maybe a music kit that tracks how many times it has been played. The MVP music.
Yeah.
Definitely what.
Maybe a new ranking system and
Yeah,
new servers. Nah, that's too crazy.
That sounds like some normie stuff.
Yeah, Windigo, I mean, they're pretty sure that no one was standing on A short. It's a long control or a long control from Red Reserve, but they have no one on the A side, I think, actually. Yeah. Only one near middle. A side is wide open. But I'm not quite sure if Windigo knows this. They have two people on short waiting. I think it looks like they're going for a late A long control, which could be just devastating. Because there are two people waiting close by. The pop flash will be important.
Grux only blind, and Hampus nearly gets a lineup. A good enough damage dealt, but Red Reserve seem to struggle to finish that one off right now. A decent half they have obtained, most definitely. With 10-5 on the right track to make that one work quite soon. Still, we're not at the point where you could say they're really choking that one out, but it's getting in a direction, to put it that way.
And as I mentioned, I mean, Red Reserve are one of those teams who have a very strong T side, but just a very bad CT side as well. So only 37% of the rounds won are on a CT side. That's why I said before, I mean, 11-4 would be a nice scoreline, 10-5 should be the minimum for them. To not struggle too hard in the end. But also a very great long take from Windigo. I mean, those flashes perfectly timed. 3 flashes being thrown, flashing every possible angle on long. Not even allowing Red Reserve to trade kill. Because it looked like they had the perfect setup. One close by the door, one more or less. I think the only thing that they could have went for is that I don't know who the player was on the container, that he waited maybe anti-flash.
What? Draken didn't even have, I think it was smoked off.
I mean, those two really hate each other.
Yeah. Afraid to be escaping from the smoke, back into safety. The real threat in this is this right now basically being mirrored. If you take a look at Blocker and if you take a look at the man Disco Doppelin, picked up the AWP. Now where do you come from, Disco? Because I'm sure Freddy, you won't expect Blocker to be nearby. Yeah, that man is lost. Just a second, executed. And does Ships hear him? That's the question. Did Ships now hear that AWP? Because it might be the case. Yeah. Feels like it. Feels like he knows what's up.
Yeah.
Ships coming in from behind, where this good Doppelin doesn't even realize. Does he grab the knife? Yes,
Knife,
Ships
knife,
wants
knife,
to
knife.
knife that guy. The machete in his back. Or onto
Beautiful.
the butterfly. To make this man fly into heaven. Or hell.
Beautiful.
Red Reserve, you only need 2 more rounds in this. Not much more you're really asking for.
I must say, I really got hungry after that knife kill.
What do you mean? Like, how did you get hungry?
I don't know. I mean, knife kills make me hungry. A nice Schnettger maybe,
Oh, a
or
good Schnettger?
a nice, somewhat of flick shot from Drake. Also very delicious, tasteful. Ampus being flashed away. This round, it's also nice to see from Windigo having a great read that this time their AWP could be waiting on short. And using the flashbang.
I mean, they're taking their time, really.
Yeah, I think they're not quite sure what to make of it. The bomb is still waiting at the B side. I think they'll just fake some A short push. Hope that someone will push from the B side. Because Poise is alone, right now alone with the bomb. Or maybe even dropping into city spawn and going for a B split. Yeah.
That's the case. We see still the majority of Red Reserve waiting it out, but Hampus executes the man. He saw those feet. Means only this Godolphin can hold them off for any longer. Stays back. One window has to be checked. One player coming through. Draken needs to watch out because there's still someone who comes over tunnels, and that is the man Poison. He's through, but this bought them a lot of time and barely any left for the man Poison. Bulgarian can't get the bomb down, and this is number 15 for Red Reserve. Money is existent, partially for Windigo. It seems like the Swedish sites, they'll pick up Dust 2 in just a moment. Just waiting actually for the scout to be dropped.
Yeah, I think Blocker is thinking about dropping an AWP for Poison and getting an AK in
Only a
return.
scout is successful.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, just go for the scout Poison. Let Blocker buy whatever he wants. But to be honest, I think it's really a little bit of an advantage if you're a scout against the AWP in the middle, because you're just allowed to keep moving and shooting, while with an AWP you're very stationary. But I mean, now Poison buying an AK, really expect Blocker to drop an AWP. Okay, he's not doing that, so okay, it's an interesting decision. I even expect when you go now to play some very fast run, maybe even just a B rush. Because the money was there. It's just, I'm not quite sure what to make of it. Okay, going for fast long control.
And Grux, he got that all. And there it works for every single Red Reserve player. Perfect flashbang.
Yep.
That's how you utilize all that bit of nades that are on your belt. And Victor, a happy phase, really. Sad to see that man then fall down, but he will possibly not stand a chance anymore. And there it comes. Flick from Draken. Check. 16-11. Red Reserve. A little bit of a struggle for the moment, but getting back into it.
Yeah, I agree. It looked a little bit shaky in the middle of it. They closed out the first half quite decently, 10-5. Even on the city side, I mean, some insane scout shots being dealt on both sides. In the end, that's two. I would say as expected for Red Reserve. Now Mirage, I think, is a second map. And this could be very interesting.
Well, we're going to figure out if it will be interesting. We'll just go into a little break. We'll just be right back and see the final map of the Monday of the UML. Welcome back to United Masters League. We got it all set, we got it all ready, and it's gonna be Mirage. We're directly seeing.
Yeah, I hope we'll probably see some aggression from both teams. We saw how aggressive both teams play on Dust 2, Mirage. Also, a lot of opportunities to go aggressive, A Palace, A Slope, middle. We saw Windy go against Assassin's Galaxy, always going for deep mid control and keeping the up to mid control with free smokes being thrown. So it will be interesting, and I think I will give Mirage to Windigo.
Okay, I see where you're coming from with this. I just don't know the way we have just seen a Grux performing, how that will now start. The most crucial part to me is, will Draken wake up again?
Yep.
And in case he wakes up, how good can they really bring this one home? Because let's be real for a second. If Draken is on the right level, if Draken is continuously fragging, continuously getting those shots done, then it gets problematic.
Yeah, although I would say I don't expect Grux to perform again as well as he did on Dust 2, because he had some insane performances, especially Deagle's shots looked really crisp. He had a lot of frags, so I don't see him performing as well on Mirage. Looking back at the previous matches, he also had some decent results on Mirage, but still, I mean, it's if Drake wakes up, I don't think Grux will keep the level up. So I still see Windigo taking it in a very close way, maybe 16-12, 16-13, but I think Mirage is a little bit better for Windigo.
I mean, especially it's more balanced. When we have been taking a look at Red Reserve, really kind of nearly struggling, let's say it that way, coming close to that when they switched sides.
Yeah.
Which is very usual at the end of the day for this team. This is nothing too surprising. But I just see this one right now being, we have seen Mirage a lot of times, really coming down how good the control is and how good can they counter it. I mean, we're seeing that the sides matter a lot. It depends how will they start and where will they start. This has been a Windigo pick, right? So Red Reserve possibly starting as a CT, it would make a lot of sense to me. And from that point on, how far can you go with that?
Yeah, I think the problem for Red Reserve will be that if Windigo plays some fast, loose style, but also play together in a sense that, for example, they push out slope. For example, Smokes just push out fast slope. I think Red Reserve don't have enough team play and a good setup to counter that. If Drake performs really well, I can see somehow him finding those opening kills, maybe even a second, and then the retake being easy for them. But still, I think Windigo has a lot more options on the T side on Mirage, and also they look very promising on the CT side on Mirage. So I think that this could be their map, and it could be a tie.
Okay, I see where we're going to, but I mean, we're going to figure it out. We have that last map of today, just starting right now here at the United Masters League. We're going live with Mirage.
We see Red Reserve preparing for a retake. One smoke and Molotov, and one smoke and a kit on the side of Red Reserve. Oh, they go very aggressive, and there will be a little surprise for Hampus.
There they all come. Mid being taken by this Godopolo. The magic double he finds, Freddy continues. And ta-da! No, not yet. But there it goes.
And the timing was crucial, because I think if he had his clock out, he still could have made this round. It was only 4 HP on one player, 20 on the other, and one with full HP, but still. And this time around, okay, nice to see that Windigo didn't decide to force buy, which makes a lot of sense. Bomb not planted. We don't have any utility. I mean, Bubble really taking that grenade in.
And there they just get one after another, a classic that happens. Windigo, of course, in the follow-up round is where they will really start to struggle. And there we go, a classic. Nothing too surprised. Right now, though, is the case. Will they directly go fast? Will they rather slow it down a little? How will they approach Red Reserve in this?
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see. I mean, they're buying a lot of Molotov, so I don't think they're going for a fast A rush. More or less, it's gonna be a more controlled manner they're going for. With one player going towards middle, whilst 4 people prepare for a fast A hit, The point is just a setup in the middle to bait out the attention from Red Reserve, while in the meantime they're preparing for a hit. And there are the smokes, but Crux. Oh, he could be important. But he keeps going, and this could be the end of him. Yeah. There's no one on the A side.
Yep. There is nobody on the A side. No one actively, at least. Tempest with the long range MP9. No idea how this man keeps on doing that. And we're realizing that this retake will not be the easiest one. Bomb is down. Player that comes right now for connector is Freddy B. He got one to his right-hand side, and that will be Ships. Reload initiated. Ships definitely heard that. He just goes up out whilst he's still in the reload animation, and that's a fatal mistake. Critical flaws on the side of Red Reserve, and that gives their opponent number one. Go by. He's still there, up for grabs.
Yeah, Red Reserve of course going for it, only Freddy B was missing some money. It's even up on Draken, although only glass cannon. And this time around we see Windigo playing something similar, but there's still one player towards B apartments, looking for any aggression towards B side. So it's a B fake, now 2 people are going towards the B side, still some grenades left. Okay. I think now they will just smoke off A side maybe, have 2 people lurk in the middle. Just compare now Dust 2 to Mirage in the first few rounds, the T side of Windigo. So much more tactical depth with double and triple fakes, with a very thought out game plan, the boost in the window nearly working out. But they're putting so much more thought into it compared to Dust 2. I mean, in the end, it looked a little bit like they outplayed themselves because they went a little bit maybe overboard, too crazy, too much of fakes and smokes and steps and this and that in the end, Red Reserve didn't even know what to do and just did hold their position and were ready for everything. But still, it's nice to see that even Windigo at this point is still trying to play tactically.
I mean, Windigo on paper is still more CT-driven team. So there's a major difference in that, especially when we want to be very specific. It is around, you know, it's still around 30% percentage points difference. And that's logically a lot if you think about it. When you win still most of the rounds on the opposite side and you right now tend to struggle, you still need something along the lines of 5 or 6. The way Red Reserve did it, 10 to 5 health, gave them enough buffer, gave them enough time, and gave them enough opportunities to then seal the deal. If that would have been an 8 to 7, that would have looked way more sinister for the side of Red Reserve. Now, Drake and his crew, as they were actually getting it right done, this is where they also need that buffer, because Red Reserve is a little bit worse on the T side. So both profit and need to profit as much as possible from this specific half.
It looks good for Red Reserve. In the meantime, the only thing I'm a little bit afraid for them is that they play, even in those equals rounds, way too aggressive. And are always, I mean, again, it's only one player they lost, but still. It feels like they're always going aggressive and losing too many players, not able to build up a decent economy in the long run.
I mean, that could backfire massively, and not only in the long, but also in the short run, if you're losing too many, and you might just see yourself collapse.
Yeah.
But there you have it. AKs times 4, 1 Galil. That belonging to the hands of Poison. And there comes the first peak, and there we have this aggression. Red Reserve, just to point it out, are a CT team, and if that was necessary, that has to be really doubted right now. Both falling down as they're on the ground. Only 60% of the team alive. A perfect headshot somehow. This Doppling gets on the plant, and the bomb has to be retrieved. Ships far away from the actual action. And so technically speaking, the aggression we're having right now is man equalized. And we see they're keeping it very passive right now, Wendigo. They just wait for that flank to work out. But as they keep it that passive, at one point it might click for Red Reserve that they're realizing, okay, there must be some sort of flank happening. There must be someone coming from the site. And it is ships in all of this.
But I think they're not expecting ships to come from the B side because so far no one is looking from behind. Now Draken, with the perfect timing, maybe. Maybe.
He has the idea, let's say
Yeah.
it like that. But not enough. Doesn't work. Ships, don't do this. I beg you, don't knife it. Reasonable he is in the end. And this is where probably quite annoyed. He checked the angle, he had the idea of it. He couldn't make that one work, and there they are lurking. Discodoplin flicking onto blocker. But that's not it.
Yeah, this could be it now. If Wendigo wins this round, Red Reserve needs to eco. Especially the double op setup. Being very costly on the side of Hampus and Draken. It's Freddy B. This time more successful with the A house aggression. It's a straight up A hit. And still so much utility left on the side of Wendigo, or on Red Reserve. They need to help out Freddy B, but it's only a bait setup. Freddy needs to do at least get one, crack.
And there he goes, continues and continues. Bulgarian site that falls apart for the moment, and their economy. This is not a thank you. That break needed.
Yeah, they have a little bit money left. I mean, they won't go for a full buy, although, I mean, knowing Wendigo, there's also always a possibility of dropping maybe 2 AKs and also one buying for himself and just going for a contact play. Which I would even understand because still they must know that Red Reserve don't have the best economy, so they could surprise them maybe. They could drop 2 AKs, 1 AK to poison, 1 to ships. Victor could buy himself, but okay, what are they doing? They're still buying, but not dropping AKs. That's interesting. I expect them now to play towards the B side, where you can always try to aim for a close angle, but still debatable. I would have loved to see just 2 AKs being dropped, 1 AK being bought on its own, and just went for a contact play.
Well, the question right now is, can Red Reserve get the one done over with quite fast? Or will Wendigo find a way to obtain control? A little late in the first half, but will they be able to do so? As they come. Just does it right. Kills Victor in the end. Oh, the shots are being way too good at that point. Hampus shouldn't take any more risks though. That's the last thing you really want right now is to fall down with the AWP. Red Reserve continue and are close to getting that half already in their bag. Eco from Wendigo resets them and should open up the gates to get that number 8.
Yeah, also a little bit disappointing to see that Wendigo didn't even think about flashing around the corner, or at least over Palace. If not, is waiting someone on the B side. Getting picked one by one, but the timing could be perfect. Freddy being unknown.
And he gets all the spray. Should at least shut down that bubble, and they should try to get that ball playing out of the way. And bubble goes peeking a little aggro, but that nade does its job. The bubble continues. Okay, this is getting a little tricky right now, because he grabs himself a free AK-47, and Hampus. This is Wendigo taking such a round. And there you need to ask yourself, how can you be shut down with that? Freddie B didn't need to peek the entire time over there and does it again, stays out, his spray only kills 2, and instead of like delaying it a little or something like that, he gets taken out. And with that, he drops one of the most useful tools for the site.
They had only blocks, 1 or 2 flashes. They won against, I think, 2 ops, a full equipped CT site. In the after plant, that just, I mean, devastating for Red Reserve. And even this round is maybe even worse. They don't have any money left. So if they lose this round, they're all going 1 by 1 again. But this time, not the best support from Poison. And now the mid-rounds call will be important. I mean, Bubble has full control of A. He knows A side is clear. Okay, now even Chips finding the B. Entry now it's all left to Freddy B.
Where do you want to go from that? I mean, Freddy might just hit that, right? I'm not convinced. Chips heard him. Could have been an important position to look at. But Bubble got the control. Otherwise, he could have denied the plan for sure. And Red Reserve, they should eco in that one. Surely Hampus, surely Discodoplin could get him a deagle, does exactly that. But the rest of the team, keep it low. Keep it humble for a second.
I mean, now would be the time for Red Reserve to someone to step up with his deagle skill. But this could be one of those rounds where it looks like it's a comeback from Indigo, Red Reserve maybe getting destroyed, and somehow the deagle heads keep coming in.
There we go. The double. It's even enough, and Draken, he shuts down Poison. What a devastating loss that would be for Wendigo. And as I just say it, it's unbelievable how those $700 sidearms might just seal the deal. The only problem for Red Reserve, nobody has any body armor. Definitely doesn't make it easier. But if they attack at the same time, all could be executed with ease. Sampus makes the miss and finds such a disgusting shot. Looked like he was jumping. I think he was on the ground for a few milliseconds and then directly locked onto the Bulgarian's head, ripping it apart.
Yeah, I already saw it coming. It was just a classic UML CSGO at its finest. You think one team is coming back, Red Reserve standing no chance, buying only deagles, no flashes, no smokes, no armor, and just pure headshots.
No XM 1014.
Yeah.
Don't forget
that I think Swedish players, they have, like, for example, if they have the Swedish passport, okay?
Right.
I think every CSGO player, they can say in one round, just take out their passport and say, okay, in this round, I will do one deagle headshot. And it's like a safe bet. So if you take your passport out for one round, put it on a table, you'll do one deagle headshot. That's guaranteed from the stage of Sweden. And I think that's what just happened right now. It's like a joker card for the deagle.
Yeah, again. What do other nations have?
I mean, Danes have Schnettger.
Yeah, but I mean, what does it bring you?
It's tasty. It
Oh,
gives you confidence.
I thought you once were giving us a CSGO card of the other nation.
Yeah, I mean, not everyone can have some. Some nations are OP. So Sweden, I would say, they are OP.
It's fairly OP. Okay, I'll grant you that.
Danes get, I think.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah, Danes, I would say, like every 10th child born has the IGL gene in it.
Oh yeah, I see what you're going.
So there, for example, they have a lot of great IGLs. And Germans,
Nates? I think every 10th German is born with a big strat book.
Yeah. Or maybe with a golden arm, like you can throw those perfect flashes
Yeah, okay,
to
okay.
your teammates.
Yeah, sounds fair.
Yeah.
Sounds fair.
Maybe we need to make the perfect team just based on the nations.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
So
That's the new top team.
maybe AGO have 3 coaches, right? Maybe they
Yeah.
should get a flash coach with Kazuya.
Yeah.
That would be an idea. A Deagle coach with maybe Grux, maybe Draken.
But I think just as players, you pick up a national team, so one Swedish player for a Stiegel place, one Danish IGL, one German support player maybe,
And Hunden as a coach.
and of course the coach. We still need to figure out the last 2 slots.
Yeah, maybe Brazilian jump shots.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
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 Every 1 millionth born Brazilian
Yeah.
is equipped with the ability to hit jump shots 25% more accurate.
Yeah. Exactly. With every weapon. So it's yeah.
And also French. I think also French should also have that ability.
For jump shots.
Yeah, cook.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It's
okay,
hard.
you're
It's
right.
hard to who to give it
Yeah.
to.
I mean, it feels like Cookley is maybe one of those guys who he didn't have the genes, so he needed some external help to get those shots.
PLL. Yeah. So we got that. We got a German strat book. We got a Danish IGL. We got a Swedish Deagle. We got a
Yeah.
Brazilian jump shot. I'd rather give it to them. Oh yeah, and of
That's
course the
very tough.
secret weapon of everything.
Yeah.
It's mini rocks.
Yeah.
You
That's-
cannot
yeah,
leave
yeah,
out
yeah, yeah.
mini rocks.
But I would put mini rocks just in as a stand-in. Like if any of the players get sick, he's a perfect
Substitute.
perfect
Yeah, yeah,
substitute.
okay.
So
Right. So what nations do we have in Counter-Strike that are successful? I mean, CAS players. Jumping op shots, but this worked for Simple as well. This is really hard who to give it to.
yeah, but I think Simple is just he's not a person.
No,
We
he's-
we all agree he's just artificial intelligence by Elon Musk created,
Wow.
and no one
Alright.
knows so far.
When will he go in space? When will they send Simple into space?
when the shuttle for Mars is ready. I think Elon Musk will just reveal in 5 years, like, hey, after
Hey
Simple
guys.
winning every MVP award, hey guys, Simple by the way is not real. I created him.
So in just to let you know,
Yeah.
in case there would be a major again, and
Yeah.
Navi would be winning that major, and Astralis is out in the group phase,
Yeah.
Device would still get the MVP award.
I'm looking forward to the HLTV player ranking.
And Device is number 1. You can already sum that up.
Yeah, because I think the problem, if you want to say it, phrase it that way, is that the first place also needs to win some tournaments with his team. So, for
Yeah.
example, I would say Simple was probably the best player in the last 2 years. Or at
By
least-
far, this
Yeah.
guy is. I mean,
But
not doubting
yeah.
Device, right?
Yeah, it's another level. I mean,
Simple is out of this world.
Yeah.
In every single aspect. And then you have a Device who definitely does his job 100% right, not even down that 1 second. But Astralis as a unit does so much good job. Does such a great job. They are untouchable at the moment. Whilst Simple as an individual, I would call untouchable. The
Yeah,
entire game says he has. The
yeah.
understanding of the game, the way he plays it.
and he's putting so much work still into it. I
Yeah.
mean, I've never seen a person who is on top and still just grinding